Beach, California. Downtown Long Beach, California. In the US Grand Prix West, the nearest Mexico's Hector Rebaque would get to his home ground. Independently wealthy, Rebaque had brought personal sponsorship from Mexico to the Lotus team. James Hunt gets dressed in public, no doubt to the delight of his female fans. As James shows, the safety clothing a Grand Prix driver wore extended right down to his fireproof socks. A newcomer to the Grand Prix scene, Jan Lammers, checks an experimental fresh air system in his shadow. Didier Pironi, in his second year with Tyrrell, has a final check with engineer Brian Lyle before the bodywork goes on and he sets off to practice. The design of the new Tyrrell 009 was very similar to that of the Lotus. The new Brabham had a 60-degree V12 Alpha engine in place of last year's flat 12. It was narrower, so designer Gordon Murray got nearer to the wing car ideal. Nevertheless, Lauda still seemed unhappy with the handling. 3 races run, Andretti only had 5 championship points to his name. No wonder he and Colin Chapman looked glum. And so the class of '79 went out to practice, led by Lauda. Jody Scheckter, Hector Rebaque, Jochen Mass, Gilles Villeneuve, Arturo Merzario, James Hunt, Riccardo Patrese, Didier Pironi, Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi with Derek Daly almost hidden behind him, Nelson Piquet, Patrick Tambay, John Watson, Jan Lammers, Hans Stuck, René Arnoux, Alan Jones, Clay Regazzoni, Elio De Angelis, Jean-Pierre Jarier, Carlos Reutemann, and finally Jacques Lafitte. The only ones missing were Depailler and Jabouille. Missing from the start were the 2 Renaults. Perhaps they were lucky. Keep an eye on the middle of the pack. Patrick Tambay and Niki Lauda, the US Grand Prix West, lasted less than a lap. As they cleared away Tambay's McLaren in its unfamiliar Lowenbrau beer colours, Villeneuve was coming through to lead the second lap. In fact, he led every lap, with Scheckter a consistent second. Behind them, Jones, Andretti, Depailler and Jarier scuffled over the next 4 places, but none of them could challenge the Flying Ferraris. At the flag, even Scheckter was left behind by the Canadian, who finished a whisker under half a minute ahead of his teammate. Jones, in third, was a further half minute behind the South African. The diminutive Villeneuve might have been lost in the crowd that surrounded the podium, but in a race characterised by Ferrari and Michelin domination, he'd shown that in the cockpit he was a big man. Villeneuve's 2 wins in succession put him in the lead for the championship, with 20 points to Scheckter's 13. Things looked good for Ferrari and its drivers.